So this video is mainly to the novice or people who are just starting to get into psychedelics, um, who want to know the difference between, like, say, shrooms, LSD, and DMT. I'm not going to do the differences between shrooms and LSD because they're pretty similar. I'd say LSD probably lasts longer, a little more speedy. Very similar to shrooms, though. The overall effect. I'd say the shrooms give you a little bit better of a body high, maybe, and maybe the visuals a little bit stronger, but it doesn't last as long. I mean, it depends on the shrooms, depends on the LSD, depends on how much you take of each. So we're just gonna compare. So similar, not really worth picking apart the differences. LSD though, I prefer over shrooms just because I don't know. Some 30 hits of acid guy. No, because I don't know. I enjoy because it doesn't taste like shit. I don't have to eat a lot, and I kind of like the speedy aspect of it. But DMT and LSD, big differences here. The hallucinations, the visuals on DMT, way better than LSD. Now, don't get me wrong, large doses of LSD, even like my 30 hits experience, right, which is a stupid amount. Those hallucinations were massive, but the difference is I could still tell even on the 30 hits experience that they were hallucinations. I mean, they were great. Granted, they were very vivid and very large and very strong hallucinations, but I could still tell that this is just a drug. Like even in my video, I think I said I wasn't really scared because I knew it was just a drug. Right, that's true. But I lied. I was kind of scared. But anyway, the DMT though, the hallucinations of DMT are way different. Not way different, but they're a lot more real. Especially if you're doing a decent amount of DMT. If you just like play with DMT a little bit, just do small doses, you'll have similar hallucinations, visuals as say LSD, kind of wavy stuff, breathing stuff, patterns will come forward and kind of move out. That's very similar to LSD, but higher doses of DMT, you'll straight up see things that are not there, but they look real. And if you're doing really high doses of DMT, where like you're having breakthroughs and stuff like that, you'll hallucinate things that I've broken through, like not even knowing what happened and where I was. I didn't even realize I just did DMT. And it's like I'm in a different place altogether. Like, yeah, LSD doesn't have the ability to do. Well, maybe it does have the ability to do that, but not like DMT does. So DMT, if you're looking to actually like go as far out as you can visually, even mentally, you know, um, if you're looking for an out of body experience, DMT hands down. DMT, if you're looking for the best, strongest, hardest hallucinations that they're so real you can't tell if they're real or not. It's more like dreaming than hallucinations. It's more like a dream. DMT. Now, DMT only lasts though for about 10 minutes, and if you smoke it. I'm not going to talk about the ayahuasca and drinking it because I don't have any experience doing that. But the typical way is to smoke it, freebase it, or changa, whatever. That lasts about 10 minutes, right? 5 to 10 minutes. LSD, on the other hand, LSD can last anywhere from 6 hours to 12 hours. 30 hits lasted for about 3 days, but other than that, yeah, I mean, the average trip is probably about 10 hours, I'd say. Yeah, so if you want to be high, yeah, I kind of say DMT is like the crack of psychedelics because it's real hard, real fast. Ramps right up real hard, but then it comes down. Whereas LSD will ramp up fairly high, and then kind of level off and slowly taper down. The last 10 hours, so you have your peak on LSD, which usually lasts for the first couple hours. You usually don't feel the effects of LSD for about, I don't know, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. By an hour, you should be feeling it. If you're not feeling it, you probably got bunk acid or some synthetic bullshit, which a lot is going around. DMT is instant. DMT is basically as soon as you inhale it, within a few seconds, you'll know. The beauty about the vape carts. I mean, there's different ways to smoke DMT. I like the vape carts just because I can vape it in public and it's easy to control. Or you can put stuff like in this vape. That is where is it? This one is well, can't do drugs on camera, but this is my favorite vape. It's called decaffeinated mint tea. Yeah, decaffeinated mint tea, DMT. Yeah. But yeah, so usually hold it in, but not that time. But so yeah, I mean, I prefer DMT. LSD, I've done so much of it, and I mean, I've had great experiences on it. And it's great to do with friends, and if you're gonna go out and you want to be high for a while. Now, I always most of the time I have a great time on LSD. DMT though, I do DMT, probably a couple times a day. Well, actually, with the vape carts, I played it 4 to 6 times a day. I love it, and I do like the fact though that it goes away in 10 minutes. I don't always want to be high for 10 hours. You know, it's like, but I love to get super high for about 10 minutes. And even though I've done, had some bad trips on DMT, as bad trips as they were, and they were terrifying, because like I said, the hallucinations seem real. It's over in 10 minutes, right? Actually, the worst part of it's over in a few minutes. And then you start to come down a little bit. But, so that's kind of nice. And, yeah, I mean, it's really up to you. But if you're really looking to launch yourself out there, if you're really looking for the ultimate psychedelic experience, DMT hands down. You can get way out there with LSD, but on stupid amounts you'd probably have to take. And honestly, committing yourself for 10 hours to taking high doses of LSD is kind of fucking scary. DMT though, you knock yourself out because what's 10 minutes, right? I mean, it's not that long. I mean, it may feel like 10 hours, but it's 10 minutes. But you want to space travel, DMT. Yep, that's the differences. Yep, DMT you can make yourself too. LSD is a lot harder, but so that's another thing. Yeah,